There's nobody but this redneck. No, they don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. But they don't want none. You say right. They don't want none. No. All right. While I'm watching the third hour of Raw, I am beginning the first ever one-man podcast. I am OneManCast, the eater of your paychecks, and I am greatness incarnate. And if he decides to ever weigh in on anything, he is my fellow brother of the backwoods, Yosemite Samuel.
No, Yosemite Sam.
It's short for Samuel. Just
I don't give it.
it's not like they're gonna let us get away with the Sam part. Even if it's spelled differently, they're gonna still say, "Hey, the Looney Tunes above." All right, Enzo and Cass versus the Club. Now, I listed a couple of things. I wanted to talk today about the state of the WWE and the way it is. But first, I'm going to go and listen to the promo of Enzo Cass. Amore, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stuff. Can't teach that. And this right here, this is Big Cass. He's 7 foot tall. This is Big Cass. And he's 7 foot tall. He's 6'9". He's 6'9". He's not 7 foot. How did you like my air paychecks? Soon enough, we're gonna have enough money to where we can legitimately call ourselves beer money. Hmm. It's a thing, okay? Have you never seen Cast? So, have you never seen the Bullet Club? That's how I like my chicken. I like boneless chicken. Yeah. Subscribe. I'm gonna spell it out for you. CLUB Club. All right. So now we are seeing a match between the Good Brothers. That's literally the name of their tag team before the club was the Good Brothers. Now, while the commercials are running, it's time for me to get down to business on my podcast. See, the thing is, I am not happy. I am actually, no, it isn't that I wasn't happy. It's that I am happy. I am happy with the way the WWE is going right now. All the big stars, all the big guys, all the people that were considered the future are now considered the now. We've got the club. We've got all these promising individuals, and then we've got sticks in the mud like Titus O'Neil. We got jokes. We got guys like Bo fucking Dallas that nobody gives two fucks about, except for me, because it's a good way for me to tease my friend. But
Fuck you.
But the fact of the matter is there's a huge cream of the crop that needs to go. Or not cream of the crop, junk of the crop. It's the runt of the litter that needs to be discarded. So, with that in mind, let's start with my top 5 list here of 5 wrestlers I would scrap. Now, this can be considered up to 2 man. When these picks are around, it can be up to 2 individuals as a tag team if they are an official tag team. One, if there's multiple men in a feud or stable, you have to at least leave 1 or 2 members, depending on the size of the stable. If it's 3 members, you got to leave in 2. If it's no matter what, you have to at least leave 2 in a stable. Period. First of all, the first ones I would scrap are the Lucha Dragons. Now, the reason why I say the Lucha Dragons is because, to me, they just seem like standard flippy shit that nobody needs right now. Like, we just watched a match between Breeze Dongo and Sin Cara and Kalisto. And the fact of the matter is that it was a sloppy match. Honestly, on both sides, but sloppy in a good way for Breeze Dongo, and sloppy in a bad way for Lucha Dragons. It was sloppy for Breeze Dongo because they had to because they purposely had to run into the moves to make them look like they were, like they were actually hit with it. Kalisto literally botched a springboard. Sin Cara botched a moonsault that didn't even come even close. And Fandango had to go and be a good old pal to save the fucking spot. And Breeze Dongo, despite his, good old Yosemite Sam's prejudices against the 2, they're still a very legitimate tag team. And, they're out of the whole Golden Truth nonsense, Breeze Dongo is literally the gem of that entire thing. And now that they're moving on, they're feuding with the Lucha Dragons. I don't know why, but they're feuding with the Lucha Dragons. They had this cheap little promo where they threw a drink in the face of Tyler Breeze. I don't understand why that's enough motive to warrant a match and not just a small brawl, but WWE's logic is a little bit off these days. Now, the state of the WWE itself is very bright. Now, so there's some people who need to be scrapped in order for it to be perfected. Number 4, despite him being one of my favorite wrestlers on the roster, I had to be unbiased in this a little bit. And the number 4, which will surprise a lot of people, is Sheamus. Sheamus, while I enjoy his character, while I enjoy his entrance, Ever since he reached a certain pinnacle in his career, he became kind of stale. Like his character is not durable. His character, when he comes back as a different like persona or he changes his stance, is okay for like the first few months, but it's not a longevity based character. It's not unlike the Club or AJ Styles or Zoe and Cass. There's no substance to Sheamus. And quite honestly, while I absolutely love the wrestler due to my own personal bias, number 4 has to be Sheamus. Next up is Dolph Ziggler. Now, this is going to get me a lot of flack because people absolutely love the guy. He is a fantastic overseller. He makes all the moves seem believable, but he's long antiquated. He was never more than secondary championship material in the first place. It's not like Dean Ambrose who could take ridiculous spills and still be cool. He's a prototype to Tyler Breeze as far as I'm concerned. Like he started out as a fucking cheerleader. Now, I've always hated the underdog characters, and this is where my bias comes in here, is that we don't need underdog characters anymore. Next person to go, it's going to be on the administrative level. And I'm going to get some severe flack for this, but Shane McMahon.
No.
Like I said, I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. But Shane McMahon, he has, after a certain part of the storyline, he has contributed absolutely nothing. Like, all he's doing is continuing a pissing contest between the Authority, Mr. McMahon, and the different executives. I mean, I would love to get rid of Stephanie, but let's face it. Shane McMahon's disposable. Stephanie, unfortunately, is not. No matter how much I wish she was disposable, she's not, unfortunately. Number 2 would be the Vaudevillains. While I enjoy their gimmick because it's a dying age and I love the idea that they have, it's not something that people will gravitate towards. People don't care about the old-timiness or, don't have any actual standards or morals despite the way they preach themselves. So why bother with a gimmick like the Vaudevillains? All right. And finally, number 1, the Shining Stars, Primo and Epico, formerly the Los Matadores, and then formerly before that, Puerto Rican Gangsters. They serve absolutely no purpose. I've seen them once in the ring, and they didn't really impress me that much, other than that weird gut buster that looked absolutely nasty from, I believe, Primo. Honestly, those are the 5 I would get rid of. Kyle, or Yosemite Samuel, do you have anything to contribute to that?
John Cena.
That's it?
Needs to go.
Keep in mind that this is pretty big, because this guy has been a proponent for John Cena for a long time. He's been a fan of his. He liked the character. What was it, the character or who he was in? Both. He liked both. He liked both of them. So it's a huge thing to come from Yosemite Samuel here for the one of his picks to be John Cena.
Yosemite Sam 93.
Yosemite Sam 93. My apologies. Yosemite Sam 93. You still have 4 people though. You still have 4 other picks to choose from. It can either be a team of 2 or an individual. You cannot get rid of a faction with more than 2.
Well, I agree on your devil characters or whatever you want to call them. agree on the Los Matadores. Usos without, you know, the way they're portraying is they're now back characters. And they've kind of outlived. Well, not outlived, but they've kind of. They're not as popular anymore. They got to come up with a new gimmick or go.
Well, I'd say fair enough. If I may weigh in my own opinion, I don't think they were really popular again. Other than that, I completely agree. Yeah, 3 picks left. Anybody in particular?
The Bellas.
Brie Bella's officially retired. Nikki Bella's supposedly coming back, though.
Yeah, well, both of them retired.
His third pick would be Nikki Bella of the women's division. I didn't want to touch upon the women's division.
And then we need a total remake of the women's division.
Okay, if we're going to talk about remaking the women's division,
Charlotte needs to go.
No, I mean, I was about to say who needs to be kept. If we're going to do a complete remodeling of the Divas division, the women's division, not the Divas, the women's. If we're going to remodel the women's division, we need to go and put a Noah's Ark scenario here. We need to decide who needs to stay. My 3 picks are Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and I know he doesn't like Charlotte, but I believe Charlotte should stay because we need a qualified heel. Now, for people who need to go, Summer Rae, Dana Brooke, Lana, only as a diva, but she can remain as a manager. But she should not be a female wrestler. You agree on that one? Yeah. Okay. So pretty much what we want to do is we want to keep 3. I want to keep 3 wrestlers. Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte. I hope sooner or later we bring up Asuka, Nia Jax, and especially Bayley, because she's going to be the ultimate babyface female wrestler. Anybody in particular you want to keep? Okay. In the match, we're in the club. Gallows keeping him in the corner. Gallows with a nice right hand to the face of Zoe. Zoe trying to kick his way out. Trying to fight his way out of the corner. Wait, couldn't tell whether that was a DDT or a power slam. I'm going to assume it's a DDT, but that looked kind of like a power slam at the same time. So it's kind of badly executed on both sides. Here comes Anderson, and here comes Big Cass. The visual counterpart to my buddy Yosemite Sam here. Oh, here comes the Empire Elbow. Here comes the fall-away slam by Cass. Big splash in the corner. Big boot by Cass. Is he going to go for the East River Crossing, or is he going to go for the slingshot? The slingshot. Got it. Oh, Styles, you clever heel. Bullet. Good God damn it. Styles. Brilliant. Styles is brilliant. Club is, of course, disqualified, but honestly, the club never really wins their matches unless it's a big match. Oh God, this is not good. What? No. No. Wow. Okay, let's beat up John Cena. Come on, beat up John Cena. AJ with the ridiculous oversell. Cena did practically nothing. Oh. Cena, it's over. I will agree with him on Cena. I didn't want to really put in Cena because I felt it was too biased on my part. But because I'm trying to keep a somewhat neutral perspective on this. I hope not. I hope not, Byron. I hope not. Okay, so you want Yosemite Samuel 93 here. Yosemite Sam 93, whichever, mentioned the scrapping of the entire women's division. And I agree with him.
Not the scrapping of the entire one.
Remaking, scrapping, it's pretty much what it is. There's only, so, though if I were to pick any keeps, it would just simply currently on the main roster would be Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky. Does Yosemite Sam have anybody else he would want to keep?
Paige.
Oh, I didn't think of Paige. You got a good point there. We'll keep Paige as well. That I will definitely agree with. We definitely need to keep Paige. Otherwise, the rest need to go. I mean, what do we have left? We have Natalia. Needs to go. She needs to retire. Retire peacefully. I mean, I like this whole new heel work she's doing, but it's too little, too late as far as I'm concerned. Like WWE has spent no time into her character, and she's been there for like 5+ years. And they're only picking now to put any depth to her character. Dana Brooke needs to vanish. If she's not along with Emma, she needs to vanish. I hope Emma comes back.
Sasha needs to be kept.
Sasha has to be kept. There's no way. She's the best female wrestler in the past 25 years in the WWE.
And second is Paige.
I would put Lita or Trish Stratus at second. That said, do you have any picks that you would want to bring up? I mentioned since we're going fantasy rebuilding here, I picked Nia Jax, Asuka, and Bayley to be pulled up from NXT. But is there any female wrestlers you would want to pick from other organizations?
No, not yet.
Personally, I want to bring in the person who's currently playing from the K. What's her name? I can't remember. What's the name that they have? Her name's another organization. Her name is Courtney Rush. What's her name in the K? Look, it's not Daphne. It's a different person. It's on the tip of my fucking tongue. It's not. Fuck. I cannot remember her name for the life of me. I don't know why. But honestly, I want to. If I were to add the entire stable, I would put Decay in the WWE. I love Decay on TNA. I love Decay. I also want to bring back Bram from TNA. That's another topic altogether. However, now that we'll get to fantasy drafting later on here in a minute from different companies. Now I'm going to address the draft and the brand split here. Now, I'm kind of pissed off at the brand split. There's a saying from Einstein, which was revisited by Voss, that I really enjoyed, and that's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting things to fucking change. It's a perfectly good descriptor for this entire thing because, and what I'm referring to is the title scene. Now, here's my fantasy build for the brand split. We keep the United States Championship, the Intercontinental Championship. We split them between the two brands. I would keep the Intercontinental title in Raw. I would keep the U.S. title on SmackDown. However, I do not want to split either the the WWE World Tag Team Champions, and I definitely wouldn't want to split the WWE World Heavyweight Championship because it made the entire unification feud between Cena and Orton completely pointless. It made the entire set of history for 10 plus years completely moot. It's a complete retcon, a complete reset. And I guarantee you about 10 years from now, they're going to pull the same shit over and over. Here's how I would set it up. What we need change in just an overall structure of the WWE. Here's the thing. Instead, if you need like a upper card title, don't sell it to the biggest championship in the company. The biggest championship in the company should be rarely defended. Before anybody protests, let me make myself clear here. There will still be the big title. There will still be big titles being defended on every pay-per-view. Now, this may be an off-kilter idea, but here's the thing. We do need an upper card title for both shows if we're splitting. So instead of dividing the main title for that, why not? God damn! Are you sure that's a woman? Are you sure that's a woman? Is Dana Brooke really a woman? I'm sorry. At least Charlotte has a decent face, but she just looks like a man dressed up with a woman's wig and placed on a body of complete plastic muscle. I'm not doing that. No. Like you can tell her boobs are fake. They don't move. I don't even think those are boobs. I think those are just overly engorged muscles. You're trying to tell her not to laugh. I know. No, Charlotte, no. Back to what I was saying earlier. Instead, I want to bring some importance back to the WWE World Heavyweight title. So instead of splitting up the main title, my suggestion is a new system called the Raw and SmackDown titles. Now, the Raw and SmackDown titles would function similar to the X Division title in TNA, where if you hold on to it for whoever after a year holds on to it for a year, whoever holds on to each title for a year can, after that 1 year's worth of point, you can cash it in, vacate the title to challenge somebody for the title at a big pay-per-view. Nothing like Battleground or TLC, but rather, pay-per-views like SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania. Those are honestly the only 3 times I would. Oh, and Extreme Rules. Those are the only 4. I guess Money in the Bank. No, you know what? No, fuck it. Scrap the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Screw it. the Raw and SmackDown titles will render the Money in the Bank title briefcase moot. So scrap Money in the Bank pay-per-view, replace it with like the Elimination Chamber. Well, why, Dana? Why? I'm sorry. Dana Brooke tried imitating Sasha Banks, and I'm just thinking, why, Dana? Why? It's gonna be the new hashtag is why Dana? Why? Both her status in the WWE and whatever the fuck she decided to, why ever the fuck she decided to imitate Sasha Banks there. But like I said, these Raw and SmackDown titles, name could be subject to change later, but the Raw and SmackDown titles would function like the X Division title. You have to hold on to the title for now to make sure that these titles have integrity to their to have these titles have integrity to their so the titles have integrity to hey Joseph, as long as these titles have to make sure these Raw and SmackDown titles have integrity, champion's advantage is nullified here. If you get yourself disqualified or counted as a vacation of the title. If a count out or a disqualification occurs, both people vacate the title. If nobody wins the title, nobody gets the title. It automatically vacates. And quite honestly, the title needs to vacate because I want to keep integrity to at least 2 titles. You can have the champion's advantage with the Intercontinental title and the US title because those titles aren't important for anything other than building up new talent. But the Raw and SmackDown titles, in order for it to properly function and function with integrity, there will be no champion's advantage in the Raw and SmackDown titles. Now, the Raw and SmackDown titles are not defended on pay-per-views and brands every single day. So the SmackDown title will be defended every SmackDown, and every Raw title will be defended every Raw. And on the minor pay-per-views, both will be defended on the same night. However, unlike on the Raw and SmackDown shows, the Raw and SmackDown titles will be on the pay-per-views will be defended in stipulation matches. Because rather than having the same shit at a pay-per-view on the regular when they are defended on the regular show, they will be defended in a regular match. In pay-per-views, to make the matches more special, will be defended in a gimmick match, whether it's a hardcore match, a ladder match, whatever match the GMs want to pick. And the only way you can hold on to the title for a year and challenge for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is if you win, and win for real. If you win by submission, if you win by pinfall, if you win by TKO. If you win by TKO, for example, that's a legitimate thing. That's a legitimate victory, period. That's how the Intercontinental Championship, so that it has meaning other than being a mid-card title or lower card title, will only be able to be defended and won by people foreign to the United States in origin. Which means if you are an American citizen, if you are not originally an American citizen, or you're a gimmick that is internationally based, like say, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Chris Jericho, all the non-American wrestlers, they will have to contend for for the Intercontinental title. The U.S. Championship, however, can only be won by American or United States wrestlers, such as Titus O'Neil, Darren Young, Zack Ryder, Big Show, Mark Henry, etc. Now, normally I don't encourage a xenophobic approach, but let's face it, WWE is xenophobic in nature. So let's keep that in mind. And the tag team championships can be, defended in whatever way they want. So, other than those stipulations and that entire system, that's my system. It's my title picture system. Do you have anything to it? Yosemite Samuel or Sam 93? Do you have anything to add to that?
Nope.
Any issues with my system at all? Okay, so we're in agreement with the system here. Okay. Now, next thing we're doing is we're going to do our own fake fantasy draft. We each get 5 members or groups, which means factions count as 1, unless you purposely want to split a faction. And I want to keep. All right. Each person gets 5 picks. Yosemite Sam and OneMan each get a pick, or 5 picks. We get 5 picks and 1 NXT call-up, which means the 5 picks have to be on the main roster currently. And each person gets 1 pick from NXT. Now, do you want to have the number 5 pick or first? Do you want to have your first go with your first number 5 pick or my first number 5 pick? Because we each get 5 picks and 1 NXT call up. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You can go first.
Number 5 for me. I will take Rusev because I'm gonna start with a lower tier card wrestler. I'm taking the U.S. champion Rusev. Your turn. Oh, what do you want to run? SmackDown or Raw with this fantasy booking?
I don't want to run either of them.
No, this is just fantasy booking. This is not actually running. Hey, okay. If we're not actually fantasy running, we're just doing the picks for the roster. Is that better?
I don't know because I'm not very into the whole wrestling thing. I would want to mix it up and make them go back and forth between them.
What do you mean? Be more specific.
Make one division higher than the other.
Ladder system.
Yeah. Ladder system.
So SmackDown is a B show and Raw is an A show?
Yes.
Okay. So what you're saying is the way you would run things is that you would take the lower tier card, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. So I will do Raw, he will do SmackDown. And my first pick is Rusev, U.S. champion Rusev.
I'd go John Cena as a trainer.
We're talking about actual roster. We're not talking about changes. But if we're talking
Yeah, I would use him in the actual roster, but only to progress other people.
Okay, that makes more sense. So my 5th pick is Rusev, his is John Cena. I'm going to go with factions on this one, and I'm going to take the Club. I'm going to take the Club as my first pick because I don't want to split AJ Styles, Anderson, and Gallows up. So my first faction, my fourth pick is a faction, and my faction that I pick will be the club. Because the reason why I want to make sure the members of the club are meant to be a sect, and that while AJ doesn't need them, and they don't need him, it doesn't feel right to just have Gallus and Anderson and Styles separate. So I'm going to stay with the club, and I'm going to not split them. Right? Bye, family. I'm actually not going to. So you're going to pick Bray Wyatt. You're going to keep Wyatt and get rid of the others?
No, I'm taking the whole faction.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I thought you were going to split them. That was the only thing I was thinking you could possibly say that would make me be mad at you, but no. All right, so he picks the Wyatt family. Is there a specific reason for that?
I'd use them the same way I do John Cena, but I'd use John Cena and the Wyatts as an endless battle between each other because the Wyatts will attack pretty much anyone, and John Cena will pretty much bat anyone out. So I play it in and out and overplay it a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Okay. That will bring me to another subject later on, and that's going to be a discussion called Rebuilding the Wyatt Family. Because I think that WWE is currently in the right direction with that. Okay, my number 3 pick. My number 3 pick is going to be a pick nobody expects. Roman Reigns. My number 3 pick is going to be Roman Reigns. I hate the guy, but it's because of how he's been used. He's been built as the guy, been forced as being built as the guy. And the way I would use Roman Reigns is I would make him the Raw champion, but have his work be as a heel, as a bad guy. Brilliant, Sasha. Brilliant. Using the rope as a springboard to bring it back in the center of the ring. This is why I say she's the best female wrestler in the past 25 years. Someone has a Pokemon Go sign with Brock Lesnar. I just noticed that. It's weird. All right. Next subject here. All right, we made now. Like I said before, I will have Roman Reigns function as my Raw champion, and I want him to focus more on heel work. I want him to have him as my Raw champion. I want him to work on his heel work and development as a character, because I believe he would be perfect as a heel. He is not meant to be a face character. Nobody buys into it. But people will go absolutely nuts for him if he stays as a heel. People who like cool heels will like Roman Reigns, if done right. So yeah, my surprising number 3 pick is actually going to be Roman Reigns. Okay, your number 3 pick. Does anybody really buy the Powerball that went only $1 million? Charlotte, you need to do your research, honey. Am I supposed to call her honey or bro? I can't figure out which. Do you have a number 3 pick yet? Shoot it in the head. Oh, is this Fallout's tribute to Dead Space?
No, they're trying to.
Do you even know what I mean by that reference? The fact that you have to kill them by shooting their limbs. I guess that's how you kill the monsters in that game. Just shooting limbs.
No, it's just a perk I have.
So, let me know when you have your. What is your number 3 pick? Or do you not have one yet? You just got your get out of jail free card for number 3. It's right there. You can pick him if you want.
Brock Lesnar.
I will allow him to have the Brock Lesnar pick because, quite honestly, he needs a break. He needs big name because
It's funny because I'm taking all the guys that are really popular. But like I said, they start out lower and then go back.
yeah, he believes in a ladder system, which is understandable. Because I believe he goes by the Darwinistic theory of, the strongest survive. Number 2 is going to be an unorthodox opinion, but because I need to offset him in popularity style, I'm going to go with Enzo and Cass. Because people absolutely love those 2 guys. I love them. I'm sure, Yosemite Sam loves them. I fucking love them. Everybody in the fucking audience loves them. I'm going with Enzo and Cass for number 2. Let me know when you get number 2.
I'm thinking for a minute.
What? You just did.
I'm gonna take someone who's been gone for a while. I'm gonna go CM Punk.
You can't take CM Punk. He's made it very clear that he does not want anything to do with pro wrestling. You can't have that one as a guy.
Money has power.
Yeah, Vince is offering him a shit ton of money, dude. It's not the issue of money for CM Punk. He stated he's done with pro wrestling altogether. That's why he's doing MMA, because he's done with pro wrestling altogether. It's not an issue of money, but just because he's lost the love of the business. So you can't pay. CM Punk's the one guy. I would accept Conor McGregor over CM Punk. That's how much you can't pay CM Punk. I mean, I would love to pick CM Punk too. Don't get me wrong. But I did not figure CM Punk into the deal because he has stated absolutely not to a return.
Well, you never know because he said he was done with WWE, right?
He's done with he said he was done with pro wrestling. Mind you, there are also other people on the out of the roster too that are also interested. Guys like Kurt Angle, etc. But I was originally gonna, have that as a separate thing. It was outside of members free. I'm mainly speaking officially on the roster, and Brock Lesnar is still somewhat higher to that contract with Stephanie, so that's why I allowed you to pick Brock Lesnar.
I'll go with Dean Ambrose.
His number 2 pick is Dean Ambrose. That is an understandable pick. And on the flip side of that, I will pick Seth Rollins. I already picked Roman Reigns. You can't pick Roman Reigns. Since Dean Ambrose is already WWE World Heavyweight Champion, you have yet to decide who your SmackDown champion is.
Shane McMahon.
As the you're keeping him as an administrator.
Yeah.
So he's not, hasn't decided on a SmackDown champion then, huh? Shane, you contribute absolutely nothing now. That's why I was saying I would scrap him.
Yeah, I want Shane McMahon as a wrestler.
As a wrestler? Okay, I can buy that. Would you have him be your SmackDown champion?
One point or another.
Who would be your number 1 desired pick for SmackDown champion? It cannot be the world. It cannot be Dean Ambrose as the champion. We're assuming with this draft that Dean is champion. So who would like I said, my first Raw champion would be Roman Reigns. Who would be your first SmackDown champion, I should say, to make things clear here?
John Cena to keep him on the pedestal to get the other guys going after him.
Solid decision. Solid decision. Now, if I were to make an administrative pick, I would pick William Regal from NXT. This does not count as a call-up because NXT administrators are exclusive from that. If you want, now then, going to NXT, speaking of which, going to NXT call-ups, I would first pick and then vacate Samoa Joe. I believe my brand needs a huge monster heel, especially since the monster heel has already been picked. My first choice for monster heel has already been picked, Mr. Bray Wyatt stealing. So I need a monster heel. See, look, I said, look at that. Pokemon Go. Brock Lesnar is here. I'll give points for creativity on that sign. So my NXT call-up, because I need a real monster heel. So, like I said, I need a monster heel. And I believe Samoa Joe is my pick. There's, several. Do you have any call-ups? Because I don't know if you really follow it. You don't really follow NXT, do you? So I guess. So since Scott doesn't have any preferences for call-ups because he doesn't know anything, I believe that I will do his part on NXT call-up.
I got one.
You do? Okay.
The Anarchist.
Oh, what?
What's that guy's name? Was the Anarchist sign on this guy?
Anarchist sign. Abyss?
Abyss.
He's not in the NXT. He's in Decay. In TNA. I said NXT. Why, Vince? Why do I have to agree with you on this? Oh my god. Savage effing Vince. Sundari Steph over here. It's not like I'm sweet or anything, Baka. It's not. It's not like I'm trying to be sweet or anything, Baka. That's literally. I can seriously imagine Steph just spouting that Sundari line. You know what? If I were, you know what? I officially rescind my William Regal pick for Sundari Stephanie. Like, I would love the idea of that gimmick. But William Regal, like, in all seriousness, no, I don't rescind it. Sounds very reminiscent of Vince. I would just say, if I were Shane, I would say, yeah, I totally am, because that's how you are. I would have been clever and said, yeah, I am exactly the way you said I am. But guess what? That's exactly how my dad is. That's what I would say if I were Shane. Peel to his ego at the last second. So, yeah. Where did I leave off? Okay, since Yosemite Sam does not have Yosemite Sam 93 does not have an NXT pick, I will do it for him, and I will do his roster a major favor and call up Shinsuke Nakamura. Well, it would be perfect for the mindset that he has for SmackDown, personally speaking. I think with a mindset that he has, the call up he should have would be Shinsuke Nakamura. I wanted to give that to him as a freebie, but I needed a monster heel. And while I like having Roman Reigns as a heel, he's not the monster heel. He's the snide asshole heel. Says the people who are splitting the title. No. You're still adding the same concept. We need to make Shane McMahon great again. And we'll give him the McMahon stunner. I could care less about Stephanie and Shane. Honestly, if I had the preference, I would scrap both Stephanie and Shane. No. Have William Regal. Have William Regal be SmackDown. Have Stone Cold be Raw. Bring back Stone Cold.
Neither of you.
Really?
Yeah.
You do realize that means Steph runs Raw. That means Steph gets Raw. Stephanie. I told you. Told you. Hey, you got what you wanted, though. Hey, Yosemite Sam's draft pick happened to come true. What? Vince.
Damn.
Vince. It's dangerous. Crazy Vince. Shane, please do me a favor and pick William Regal. I want Stephanie to pick Triple H, and I want Shane to pick William Regal. That's best for business. You know why I say that. Oh, it's Pokemon Go brought me here. It's not. Oh my god. It's a Blastoise. Brock Lesnar is a Blastoise. Wow.
Damn.
Psychological confidence versus intense anger. Nice touch, Shane. I love the subtlety he's portraying here. Brilliant. Well done, Shane. Well done. Hey, we both kind of called it. I get Sundari Steph, hopefully. I just hope she doesn't turn into Yandere Steph. Please keep the Sundari Steph, please. If we get Steph as a Sundari, that'd be perfect. It's not just Detroit, Shane. Wow. I didn't even get time to cover my anime topic. We've been stuck talking about WWE the entire hour. I might extend the next podcast to be another hour. The next podcast, which would be. Do you want to do 2 podcasts a week or just one? One podcast a week. So, guys.
And we rotate them.
Oh, you want to do the podcast next time?
No, we rotate them by
brand.
One on SmackDown, one on Raw.
Alternating weeks. So 1 week is Raw, the next week's SmackDown.
Yep.
Got it. Well, guys, thank you for listening in. This has been the first One Man podcast featuring my good old buddy Yosemite Sam 93. Look forward to. Thank you for being part of the fandom of the One Man brand, and I hope you will all come to our neck of the woods soon. It has been a fun time. We have run over an hour and 10 minutes, just like Raw has. So thank you for, again, I hate to sound repetitive, but thank you for listening, and I can't wait to level up with you all again next time.